So the whole place is just closed?
Yeah, Labor Day, yeah.
All right.
I came through the door right here.
Yeah, this has got to be it. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Sal and this is another expedition log. Today we're getting another Phase 5 sneak peek into the New York cahoots that Ace and I had while I was up there on my Buffalo Niagara tour. And we'll be visiting a mall that now sits abandoned, inaccessible to the public. As always, I hope you're all well out there, keeping sane and having a good time all the time. Make sure to sub to my channel and to follow me on social media so I can share my thoughts with all of you between episodes. Links for everything are down below. In this ExLog, I'd like you all to come take a walk with me through the now shuttered Main Place Mall in Buffalo, New York, along with some extra footage that Anthony from Ace's Adventures got for me to complete the episode. But first, a word from our sponsors. A couple of rad vintage Buffalo TV-29 spots, along with Ziggy and Zan's Halloween World. Enjoy.
WUTV, Buffalo 29.
All set to go, Twiggy?
Geronimo! It's Buck Rogers. He's out of this world.
Put on your cars, give your backgammon boards. Lucky Buck is back.
The one and only, genuine American space hero, loved for generations. He's Buck Rogers.
What a guy.
Journey to the Stars with Buck Rogers.
Coming this fall on UTV. We will return to the late great show after these messages.
For the first time on TV, Halloween 3.
Happy Halloween.
Season of the Witch.
Thursday, October 29th at 8.
This Halloween, Ziggy and Zan's World has everything you need to be anyone or anything you like. Ziggy and Zan's World is filled with accessories, costumes, makeup and masks, decorations too, everything. Scare 'em, fear 'em, goof 'em, spoof 'em, be anything you want to be for Halloween at Ziggy and Zan's World.
At Ziggy and Zan's World, the fun's enough.
Buffalo's Shelton Square was home to the glorious castle-like Erie Savings Bank since 1854. Built in the Richardsonian Romanesque architectural style, the bank was demolished as part of a sweeping urban renewal program through the 1960s. The looming black slab Main Place Tower would castigate the image of its indentured mall, which would never get to see a proper redevelopment despite years of stagnation and neglect. Since the mall's opening in 1969, at the behest of its own success, it would retain vintage 70s aesthetics indefinitely. Welcome to the Main Place Mall in Buffalo, New York. For a long time, Ace was trying to get me to come up to the Buffalo area to hang out with him and to do our mall rat thing. And he took this footage for me on a Friday at lunchtime, which was probably as busy as this mall would ever get, in an effort to entice me to come up there. It worked. I went. But that'll come a little bit later in this episode. The history for Buffalo's Main Place complex is much simpler than most ordinary malls that I've covered. And I will expand on the details before cutting to some of the cahoots that Ace and I had here just days after he filmed this footage that you're seeing right now. But let's get into some of the details on the history of this place. As I mentioned in the prelude, the Erie Savings Bank resided in Shelton Square since September 1, 1854, and would remain standing until the 1960s. Around this time, urban renewal was taking precedence around the United States in an effort to revitalize downtown areas. In Buffalo, the plan took shape in September of 1966 and would see the demolition of Shelton Square and the Erie Savings Bank to make way for a new tower and mall complex, which would also be the bank's new home. Construction on Erie Savings' new home began in the late 1960s, for which the bank would pay for the cost of its new building. The Main Place Tower was designed by architects Harrison and Abramovitz, with the Main Place Mall design credited to the Lathrop Douglas firm. In all, the entire Main Place Tower and mall complex cost Erie Savings over $26 million to complete, and it opened in March of 1969. At its ribbon cutting, the mall's main concourse housed junior anchor Sattlers and over 60 inline tenants. There were about a dozen eateries, including a handful in the greenhouse food court, such as Arthur Treacher's, Louise Hot Dogs, Hoagie Brothers, and Gino and Joe's Pizza, along with their own full-line Italian restaurant downstairs. Like most arcade-style single-concourse malls, Main Place had no senior anchor spaces attached at grand opening, and it shared similarities with malls such as the Tower City Center and Galleria at Erie View in Cleveland. The Main Place Tower was the dominant tenant, and with the Erie Savings Bank occupying much of the building, traffic would thrive in the shopping concourse for as long as the workers needed a place to eat and shop in their downtime. Back in the 70s and 80s, across the street and adjacent to the mall were a Sibley's and AM&A's department stores. And in the early 80s, UK-based Hammerson plc was brought on to lease and manage the property. By 1982, local store Sattlers had closed inside the Main Place Mall, and through the 80s, plans were actually thrown around to connect the two adjacent department stores across the street to each other in an effort to drive more retail traffic downtown. It was also in 1982 when the mall and tower owners, Erie Savings Bank, changed their name to Empire of America. But in 1987, May department stores chose to close Sibley's next to the Main Place Mall, which detracted from traffic quite a bit.
The only reason why it exists now, like I said, it's a thoroughfare for the 9 to 5 lunch crowd. That's why it has 9 to 5 Monday through Friday hours.
Which is why it's closed, because
right,
Labor Day.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to do a quick walk this way now. So here's the Main Place Mall logo. Then underneath it is the old one's hiding.
Oh, cool. Wow. Very cool.
These doors aren't open, unfortunately.
They're not open? That one looks pretty open.
Obviously, Ace was able to coerce me into heading up there to hang out with him. I'm a cheap date, and it didn't take much, especially after seeing the footage that he shot for me. Right now, you're seeing the footage that I shot when I went up to meet him. We went up there on Labor Day in 2019, and the mall was closed for the day because the offices were closed. But for some reason, the doors just happened to be unlocked and open. This didn't please the security guard, since apparently we set off some sort of alarm just by opening the front door, and this caused the security guard to get up out of his chair. He didn't like that too much. You'll hear in a second the security guard telling us that we needed to leave. But I took him for a little bit of a joyride through the mall, since I really wanted to see this entire place before respecting his wish to leave. So we'll take a quick walk around here, and I'll let the audio of our interactions tell the story.
Yep. Mall closed. Okay, we're leaving. We're leaving. We're parked on this way. We're leaving. Okay, we're leaving. We're walking out the doors this way. We're leaving. We are leaving.
We're leaving! Hustle.
This is the food court one here, bro.
So the whole place is just closed?
Yeah, Labor Day, yeah.
All right. Sorry, man.
Where the other guy at?
I think he left. He said there was no food. We're trying to get lunch. Sorry, man.
Y'all setting off a alarm.
Oh, shoot. We set an alarm off?
Yeah. That's all. Not only the cameras, I see y'all set the alarm off first.
Sorry, man.
Was it your buddy? That's your buddy?
Yeah. He's probably outside.
No, the cat was just here.
Yeah, we'll spot him outside. I'm from Baltimore, actually.
Yeah, I guess that is something. He's a smart ass too, taking credit.
He is?
Yeah.
I'll tell him.
Nah, he just came here. I said the mall was closed.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
I told her. Talking about you. That's talking about you wanting to see the food.
Yeah, we're hungry. Yeah, he was telling me, like, this is usually a place that people eat, but I guess it makes sense Labor Day that the businesses are closed. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
That's it down here.
I know, we came in, the door's open. I'm like, oh, food's got to be here.
No.
We'll see him outside. I'll make sure you see him. Can we just go down here? Is that cool? Sorry, man. My God. I don't know where I came in.
Came in for
You can tell me where I came in. That's wrong. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, man, I didn't mean to start any trouble. I went out, I didn't come in here. Over this way?
That's what the friend said.
Yeah, we'll see him. I'll make sure you spot him. Is this where I came in? Or the next one? Did we? Wasn't it the... I think it might have been the next one. I think it was the next one. I think it was near this staircase. Does it exit that way?
I think that came from this way.
Did we?
Yeah. Up through that door.
Okay. I don't even go.
Either way, you got it.
I got you, no problem. I'm out.
Now you go through the garage.
No.
No, these doors are locked, so I'm in there.
I remember we came upstairs.
Yeah, I came up that. I followed y'all.
Sorry, man.
I followed y'all, so y'all came up the other end.
I got you. Okay.
Y'all came off the front anyway.
Is that true? Like I said, I'm not even from here. I have no idea. Big old empty malls. Crazy though. How long you worked here?
What?
How long you worked here? Too long. Yeah, it's got to be that one. What's that? I wanted to get lunch, but now that I'm in here, I kind of want to see it. I hear you.
I came through the door right there.
Yeah, this has got to be it. All right, man. Thank you. Thanks for being cool. Main Place Mall. There you have it. At least the security guard was cool. But worth it. Definitely worth it. I was taking him on a little joyride through the mall.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did you get footage?
All of it.
Yeah, dude, is that place sick or
It's
what?
sick.
That food court is ridiculous. Yeah, that mall is fucking sick.
It is.
Before any of you decide to slide into my comment section to yell at me about filming a mall when it was clearly closed to the public for the day, in some sort of deceptive act of trying to say that it's less occupied than normal, the mall is abandoned today. And what you just saw is an accurate representation of what it would look like if you were able to get in today. But we're about to see some footage from 2020 that Ace shot just before the COVID lockdown, so stick with me. And let's finish up the historical narrative. In 1989, Empire of America Bank Retail had gone insolvent. And on February 29, 1990, the Fed seized the bank, which would now be owned by the federal government instead of shareholders. Main Place Mall would change hands on September 28, 1990, when the Office of Thrift Supervision turned ownership of the Main Place complex over to Hammerson. Just a few years later, Buffalo's downtown AM&A's would shutter in 1995, at which point Main Place Mall was down to 80% occupancy, and would change hands yet again when it was sold for an undisclosed amount to Main Place Liberty Group through its subsidiary, Violet Realty Incorporated. Just 3 years later, in 1998, the number dropped to 50% vacancy, and as the mall crossed into the new millennium, it would shed tenants as the years went on, exponentially. Into the 2000s, the mall was well below 30% occupancy, and even the food court was hurting. Despite the now federal-backed bank still occupying the tower, along with tons of office workers, their traffic alone couldn't keep the mall from ailing. Retail would continue to suffer after the fallout of the economic depression in the late aughts, and more malls would see their downturn into the 2010s. By the mid-2010s, only a handful of stores remained at the Main Place Mall, which didn't bode well going into the dumpster fire of COVID-19 in 2020. In February of 2020, solid plans to redevelop the property were announced, which would bring a dramatic $75 million redevelopment to the 50-year-old mall, turning it into a tech-centric office building. As a result of these announcements, along with the COVID pandemic getting worse shortly thereafter, the owners used the plague as one of the excuses to keep the mall closed indefinitely, with no further mention of the redevelopment in recent news. Whether or not anything positive actually happens with this mall in the coming months or years, your guess is as good as mine, and I'd love to hear if anything happens if you're local. Let me know down in my comments or my social media. I'd like to thank all of you so much for watching this video, especially to Ace for helping me get the footage to complete this piece. Thanks, Ace. I'll come visit you soon, I promise. I'd also like to send a huge shout out to my patrons and elite explorers, without whom it would be incredibly difficult to pull off these ExLogs the way that I want to make them for you all. Please make sure to follow me on social media for updates between episodes. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Salvatore Amadeo and Facebook at Quite Studios. But the easiest and most direct way of chatting with me is by joining my Discord, home of the DMod fam. To join, just download Discord, make your account, and head over to discord.gg/dmod, or click the link in any of my descriptions. You'll just have to answer a couple of quick questions with the moderator, but then you'll get your role and the entire server will appear, and you're good to go. I'll be back in 1 week with an incredible Halloween special at a creepy abandoned location in Baltimore, accompanied by Fritz. You're not going to want to miss this episode coming up in ExLog 98 this Halloween. But until then, please stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, and have a fantastic day.
No one comes home. For the first time on TV, Halloween 3.
Happy Halloween.
Season of the Witch.
Thursday, October 29th at 8.
This Halloween, Ziggy and Zon's World has everything you need to be anyone or anything you like at Ziggy and Zon's World.
At Ziggy and Zon's World, the fun's on us.
WUTV, Buffalo 29.
Geronimo! It's Buck Rogers. He's out of this world.
Put on your cars, give you backgammon boards. Lucky Buck is back.